Today we're going to try to predict Metacritic scores for upcoming games of August 2025. This is a monthly video series that I do, so follow along for more. This one is a little bit late. It's not a big deal. Couple of disclaimers. One, I know Metacritic is not the all-in be-all of review scores. It's not that big of a deal. It's just fun to predict. And two, if I miss anything, drop a comment down below what I miss, and I'll try to predict in the comments below. Gonna try to make this month's video a little bit different, where it's almost like a speed run. So if the video title says I predict this much in X amount of time or less, then that's why. No reason for it. Just I wanted to try something different this month. Here's how I did last month. If you actually care to know, not a great month, not a bad month, just somewhere in the middle. Still don't have any sort of point system set up yet. Sooner or later, I'm going to do that. With all that said, do all the normal things content creators say to do. Let's jump into the predictions. Starting off on August 5th, we had Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles 2. I'm going to call it a 70 on this one. The first one didn't score super great, so I'm just going to go with a 70 on this one. It's just going to be probably a fun game for Demon Slayer fans. August 7th, Gradius Origins, going to say a 74 on this one. The Gradius properties also score kind of just average for the most part. This is going to be a nice collection for the fans, though, so let's go 74. House of the Dead 2 Remake on August 7th, going to say a 60 here. Just historically doesn't score super great. The House of the Dead 1 remake didn't score super great, so feels appropriate. August 8th, the first big title of the month, we have Mafia The Old Country. Gonna say 81 on this one, which I think would actually make it the highest rated Mafia game to ever come out. Mafia games historically also don't score super well. I think Mafia The Old Country is gonna be the one to kind of set the ship right. Let's go with 81. Echoes of the End on August 12th, gonna call 75 on this one. I watched some gameplay on it. The gameplay looks a little clunky. It looks a little slow, but there's elements to it that look fun. I feel like this is gonna be one of those action RPGs that just kind of come out and they're just like fun games, kind of like Banisher's Ghost of the New Eden of like a couple years ago, but they don't score super high and they don't set the world on fire. But the gameplay did look a little slow and clunky from the melee combat to like the spells combat, so I'm gonna say 75 on this. Also on August 12th, we have Hellblade 2 Enhanced, which is also the first release for the PS5. I'm gonna say 85. The base game just had around the same score range. It just being enhanced with a few different things is gonna be nice. Plus it's going to PS5, so 85 feels good. Drag X Drive. This is the new Nintendo multiplayer game coming out. This is gonna be on the 14th. Gonna say 72 on this one. Don't see a lot of positivity around this, but maybe this could come out and really shock some people and actually be a pretty fun game for the Switch too. Madden 26 on the 14th. Look, dude, 73. I mean, it's Madden. Like, it's Madden. What do you? Madden sucks. All right, I'll say it. Madden sucks. We all know it. It's Madden. It stinks. Let's move on. Midnight Murder Club, which is leaving early access on the 14th. Gonna say this is gonna be a 69. The current review scores on Steam are overall pretty mixed. The most recent ones are fairly negative. I don't see this one coming in at a high score. It looks like it could be a really fun game with friends, but again, it looks like there's some issues to kind of work the kinks out for. Hopefully, the leave of early access will fix that. Bendy Lone Wolf on the 15th, gonna say 75 on this one. Just looks like a nice entry to the Bendy properties, but also, like I've said a couple times now, for other properties, Bendy actually historically doesn't score super well on Metacritic, so maybe this could break the mold and score higher. But I'm just gonna say 75. Sword of the Sea on the 19th, gonna give this one a 79. This is by Giant Squid, who has made The Pathless. This gameplay just looks like it's gonna be very fun, very fluid. It's gonna be a very relaxing game. This is one that I'm actually interested in. It just looks like a good time. 79. Black Myth Wukong for the Xbox on the 20th. We're going to say an 80 on this one. It scored 81 for the PS5 last year. Obviously, there's going to be some Series S concerns there, which is what they say played into the delay of the game on Xbox. I mean, truthfully, since it's a year to the day for the PS5 and, Xbox, that is kind of sus, even though they say there was no marketing deal, but I digress. I think there could be maybe a point or two down, so maybe it comes in like a 79 or something, but I'm locking in 80. Discounting on the 21st, gonna say a 77. This looks like a very fun, like cozy, relaxing game. I love the art style for this, that pixel art style. Looking at screenshots and some trailers for this, it just looks like it's gonna be very mesmerizing for the art style of it. Plus just the gameplay loop, it looks like it could just be very fun, very relaxing. Honestly, might be one my wife is interested in. I might have to let her know about this one, but 77. On the 26th, Gears of War Reloaded, gonna come in at an 87. Lock it in now. I mean, look, it's the remake of the OG Gears. Multiplayer will be featured. I mean, it could be lower. It could be like an 84. I'm saying 87. Really excited for this one, man. I mean, classic Gears coming back for a remake. Gonna have fun with the multiplayer. Plus, just a classic story here. Excited for this one. Also, on the 26th, we have Helldivers for the Xbox. So Shout out to that, I guess. You know, just going to say 81. It's going to probably score in the same range as Helldivers. It could score a little bit higher, maybe like an 84, 85 as well. I know I'm not trying to be biased here saying Gears versus Helldivers situation. I'm reviewing historical stuff here of where like Gears have come in the past, where Helldivers came in. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the landscape of things, right? I'm not just saying Helldivers is worse than Gears or whatever the case is. But 81 for Helldivers too. I mean, shout out to, you know, gonna have a bunch more Helldivers added to the community here with Xbox. So shout out. And also the 26 Space Adventure Cobra The Awakening. Gonna call an 81 on this one. Gameplay just looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Nice side scroller. I think side scroller fans are gonna enjoy this one. Story of Seasons Grand Bizaar coming out on the 27th. This is one that my wife is very excited for, so I let her pick the rating, which she said 75. I don't want to, you know, get divorced, so I'm not gonna put it a lot lower. For these kind of games, you know, I know my place. I let her pick the scores. 75 is what she predicts. That's going to be the score. Let's roll with it. Kirby The Forgotten Land 2, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which also has that like the included expansion on the 28th. Going to say an 87 on this one. The Forgotten Land was a very solid entry to the Kirby franchise, going to this more 3D platformer route, and the new expansion just looks like a lot of fun. I think this is going to come in really high, as we've already seen with some of the other Nintendo Switch 2 editions that's come out, like the 2 Zeldas. They're also going to get those Metacritic scores. People are going to be excited about it. 87 for this one. Also on the 28th, we have the Nightling, which I'm going to say is 77. This is an open world action adventure game. The art style looks kind of cute and fun. It looks like it could be a good time here. Just could be a nice little experience to kind of check out and play. I don't think it's going to set the world on fire. It just could be just a simple, like, yeah, good game. It's a fun game. I had fun. And another one for the 28th, the biggest game of the month, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Going to say a 90 on this one. The Metal Gear games have a strong historical presence of high Metacritic scores, usually being in the 90s. You know, the original Snake Eater being in that realm as well. I think the remake is going to deliver on this. I think we're going to break into the 90s. I'm feeling just a flat 90, but I could see it kind of go up from there. A lot of hype around this title. Metal Gear fans are very excited. This is like a lot of people's favorite Metal Gear, to my understanding. Not a Metal Gear guy myself. Definitely would like to play this for the first time. My uncle, who's no longer here, was a massive Metal Gear fan and always talked about them. So it's always been a goal of mine to go back and actually experience all these games in honor of him. Shout out to Jack. He was great. Love him to death. Rest in peace. So I think this is going to be a nice entry for Metal Gear fans. Get this remake. Hopefully others can also get the remake treatment, but I'm feeling a 90 on this one. Let's get it. And the last one for the 28th, we have Super Robot Wars Y, which I'm going to say an 80. Also historically, just kind of scored kind of average, you know, review scores. That 80 range feels about appropriate for this one, but I mean, it could go lower, could go higher. We'll see. On the 29th is my most anticipated game, which is Lost Soul Aside. I'm going to say an 84. Kind of like I mentioned earlier with Echoes of the End, how it's like, I feel like it could just be a nice, fun game, fun entry that's not going to set the world on fire. Kind of like a Banisher's Ghost of New Eden a couple years ago, which I think scored like an 83. I kind of see Lost Soul Aside maybe fitting into that same realm, but maybe this could actually go higher. This could actually float into the 88, 89 range, because I've actually seen a lot of people excited for this one. The development story of this game has been a really interesting one, about how it started off as like a AA entry, and then Sony kind of got involved, and they really loved the idea. They loved the premise that they had going for it, and then it like kind of inflated the budget because of that, and then it became a full AAA project. And just the gameplay looks so fun and it looks so cool. This is one that I really hope scores well. I hope it scores higher than 84. I would love to be wrong on this one, which obviously, as you see from month to month, I'm wrong quite a bit. But I would really like to see this one come in higher. But I just 84 is sticking out to me. I think it's just gonna be a really nice, fun JRPG that kind of comes in. So I don't know, shout out to Lost Soul Aside. It looks cool. Are you excited for it? Let me know. Also on the 29th, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, 87 on this one. The art style looks incredible. The gameplay looks so freaking fluid. A lot of people are excited for this one. This game is going to be a lot of fun to play. And then just to check my bases, this game does not have a release date besides just coming out in August. We have the Rogue Prince of Persia. Since it still doesn't have a release date, I feel like it may just get delayed. Let's just say 72. So my bases are checked, and I gave it a score, but I have a feeling since there's still not a release date, at least as of the recording of this video, I'm feeling it just like potentially getting delayed. But 72. What's your thoughts on all the scores that I gave? Am I like super offbeat on some of these? Am I kind of reading the room right? What's your scores? Do you even care? If you don't care, why are you here at the end of this video? I have questions. Drop a comment down below. If I also missed anything, call me an idiot. It's fine. But do all the normal things content creators say to do. Check out the description, like, comment, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. Check out Gamesthetic. We're live almost every single Saturday around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'd appreciate that extra support, as well as check out some other stuff we got going on, like ATSN, Terrible Sports Network, with a Terrible Football Show coming back here just very, very soon. With all that said, bye.